How can you possibly follow up what might be the most underrated Mario game on the entire Nintendo Switch? Easy. You completely scrap the combat grid, team up with a depressed sword-wielding Rabbid, and shoot everyone straight into outer space. At the end of my last video, where I talked about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I left you guys with a quick question. I asked if I should make a follow-up video covering its sequel. Well, if the title and thumbnail didn't already give it away, yeah, we're doing it. Today, we are diving into Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. If you saw my last video, you know that I basically glazed the first game the entire time, and for great reason. It's a masterpiece. But when they dropped Sparks of Hope in 2022, they didn't just give us the exact same tactical XCOM style game with a new coat of paint, they completely flipped the formula. It's an even goofier concept than the first one, but somehow it just works. So, does this cosmic sequel actually live up to the hype of the original, or did it lose some of that magic along the way? Let's get into it. To start things off, I want to talk a bit about my personal experience with this game. If I'm being totally honest, when Sparks of Hope first launched, I really didn't like it. I thought it was just okay, but it definitely wasn't as good as the original in my eyes. I think the massive changes to the gameplay really just threw me off at first. But fast forward to all these years later and I'm now on my third playthrough, so it's very safe to say that my opinion has completely shifted. Coming back to it with a fresh perspective made me realize that this game, just like the first one, is a genuinely well-crafted masterpiece. Unlike the first game, the prominence of the story here is very noticeable. You can tell they put a lot more effort into it and really wanted it to be prevalent throughout the whole adventure. They even threw in a brand new original character, Edge, who definitely adds to that whole serious story-heavy vibe they were pushing for. And I mean, it's fine. I didn't really feel like I connected with it at any point, but it served its purpose. It set up Cursa well, and the plot twist with Rosalina and explaining how the sparks came to be was pretty solid. But with that heavier focus on story comes another big change. This game has voice acting, or at least hints of it.
Best not keep her waiting.
Yeah.
And my thoughts on this are very mixed. I really hate the voices for Beepo and Genie, they just get annoying fast.
We must trust that our bond makes us stronger than all the fear and anger Cursa could ever.
Well said! Wow!
But the absolute worst part is my personal hatred towards Rabbid Luigi in this game. I do not know how they massacred my boy so badly. He literally went from being the best Rabbid in the first game to the second worst one in this game. It's a genuine tragedy.
Everyone! Da-da-da! Yeah! 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 Whoa! Ho-ho-ho! Ha-ha! Get down, y'all! I got this! Aw, I wasn't ready. Is it over? Ran the table! Double score! Zwoosh! Timber! Funky footwork making you faint.
Justice for Rabbid Luigi. Moving on from the story, let's talk about the art style and graphics. I'll say right off the bat that I do like the art style, but honestly not as much as the first game. The environments look nice, but the characters just do not look like they fit in as well with the environment this time around. The game is trying to go for this realistic look in certain areas, but the realism doesn't really look real, if that makes sense. It ends up feeling a little bit disconnected compared to the perfectly blended cartoon world we got in Kingdom Battle. Now, when we look at the actual graphics and performance, there are a few things that hold it back. You'll definitely notice a couple of minor visual bugs while exploring. There's some object and texture flickering here and there, along with a few weird lighting issues that pop up from time to time. However, the biggest issue for me was playing on handheld mode on the original Switch. It really does not look impressive at all. And you can tell that the hardware is struggling to keep up with how massive the game is. Luckily, for this third playthrough, I was playing on the Switch 2 with the new boost mode. And let me tell you, that boost mode does this game so much justice in handheld. It plays super smoothly, the frame rate stays consistent, and it completely transforms the experience. It makes running around and exploring these planets feel incredible when you do not have to worry about the performance dipping. But even with those graphical quirks on the older hardware, the core structure of this game is still fantastic. Just like the first game, Sparks of Hope is a perfect pick-up-and-play title. Because of the tactical strategy genre and the overall gameplay style, it's so easy just to jump in for a few minutes and make some progress. You have multiple battles scattered all over the planets, and they really vary in length. You can knock out a quick little skirmish if you only have a few minutes, or sit down for a longer, more strategic story battle when you have the time. It gives you a lot of flexibility, which really makes it built perfectly for a handheld console. Now let's dive into how this game actually feels to play and how it compares to Kingdom Battle. The biggest change, hands down, is the movement. They completely ditched the grid-based system from the first game, so now you have this free roaming circle of movement during your turn. It feels so much more fluid and less restrictive. You can run around, line up your shots, and even do dash attacks in real time before committing to your final position. The team jump also got a massive upgrade. Instead of just bouncing off a teammate to a specific square, you now get this hovering flight mechanic. You get to glide around in the air for a few seconds, choose exactly where you want to drop in, and still move around afterwards. It opens up so many new tactical possibilities. Another huge shift is how you handle your loadout. A lot of the customizable weapons and all of the secondary skills from the first game have essentially been replaced by the spark abilities. You equip these little sparks to your characters and they give you your elemental attacks, defensive buffs, and special moves. Because of this new spark system, the characters now have fixed signature weapons. These changes are a mixed bag, some are for the better and some are definitely for the worse. For example, you already know I'm not a fan of Rabbid Luigi's voice and character in this game, but his new disc weapon is my biggest gripe with him here. I really do not like how it plays compared to his old setup. But on the flip side, some characters got massive upgrades. Mario getting dual blasters is absolutely great. Being able to split up your shots and target 2 different enemies in a single turn is incredibly useful. And to tie it all together, they did keep the skill tree from the first game, which I'm very glad about. They changed it up a little bit to make it fit alongside the new Spark system, but you still get to spend points to upgrade your base stats, movement abilities, and signature techniques. It still gives you that satisfying sense of progression as you build up your team. While the combat got a massive overhaul, the overworld saw just as big of a jump. Instead of just walking down linear paths, you get to explore these open planets, and the level environments themselves are fantastic. Each planet has its own unique theme, ranging from a sunny beach stuck in rainy gloom, to a massive snowy mountain, to a vibrant, blooming flora world. They are all distinct and look incredible to run around in. And these worlds are absolutely packed with side quests and puzzles. Honestly, the puzzles feel a whole lot better than they did in the first game. In Kingdom Battle, the puzzles were just okay, but they felt kind of shoved in. I mean, I was glad they were there to break up the pacing, but they didn't always feel necessary. In this game though, most of the puzzles actually serve a real purpose and are genuinely fun to complete. They feel like a natural part of exploring the planets and uncovering secrets rather than just a random roadblock to slow you down. And while you are running around these planets and getting into fights, you get to listen to this absolute masterpiece of a soundtrack. The music perfectly ties in with the gameplay, matching the exact vibe of whatever world you were exploring and ramping up the energy perfectly the second a battle starts. Remember how much I glazed Grant Kirkhope in the last video? Well, he came back for this one, and he teamed up with the legendary Yoko Shimomura and Gareth Coker to compose the soundtrack. Together, they absolutely cooked. There are so many bangers in this game that I could probably make a whole separate video just talking about them. But if I had to highlight a few of the absolute best ones you've gotta listen to, it would be Uphill Battle, Clash in the Outer Galaxy, Galaxy Encounter, and Interstellar Invaders. The music just elevates the whole experience to a completely different level and makes those intense fights feel so much more epic. And before we wrap things up, I have to talk about the bosses in this game. I don't want to spend too much time on them and, I guess spoil anything, but I do want to highlight that they are actually pretty challenging at points. In the first game, you could sometimes just brute force your way through, but here they really make you think deeply. You actually have to slow down, analyze how they fight, figure out what their moveset is, and build your strategy around countering them. It's super satisfying when you finally crack the code and take them down. I also want to quickly mention the DLC. This game actually got 3 separate DLC packs after launch, including the Tower of Doom, a new story planet, and one that even brings back Rayman, which is a huge throwback. I haven't actually played any of the DLC myself yet, so I can't give you a full review on it, but I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that it does exist here if you end up wanting more after you finish the main story. So that brings us to the end of this video, and it's time for the final verdict. How does this cosmic sequel stack up against the original? Personally, I feel that Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is still my favorite of the two, and I consider it to be the better game overall. I just prefer the tighter grid combat and the overall vibe, but if you look around online, a lot of people actually think that Sparks of Hope is the superior game because of the open movement and expanded RPG segments. And honestly, either opinion is completely valid here. Both of these games are, like I previously mentioned, absolute masterpieces and are just super fun to play. You really can't go wrong with picking up either of them. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Have you played Sparks of Hope? Who is your absolute go-to character to have on your team? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, hope you all have a great rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you in the next video. See ya.